What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Hunter Starcraft, and I'm glad to be casting more games for you guys. I've picked a sweet replay. Today is going to be a tournament matchup. Spawning at the 12 o'clock position of Metalopolis, we have Liquid.Ret, known as one of the top macro Zergs. He is a Dutch player. He's from the Netherlands, of course. And he's actually been such a veteran in the Starcraft community, you know, playing Brood War since like 2001, he was telling me, at MLG Columbus. So he is just like, he has RTS in his blood. He can actually go, you know, like weeks or months without playing and then, you know, just brush up a little bit, grind that rust off over a couple of days, and then, you know, perform very, very well at, you know, any given tournament. So it's a really impressive sort of skill to have. I'm wondering how Ret's macro style is going to fare against Naniwa. Naniwa is also a beast, a Protoss player here down at the 6 o'clock position. So these guys have spawned cross-positionally, quite a long rush distance. We see Naniwa's probe actually scouting really quite early. All Ret knows so far is that Naniwa has not spawned close by air. I also do believe that this is the tournament version of the map with, okay, there are no supply depots at the bottom of the ramp, but I'm pretty sure that you can't spawn close position. So Naniwa now knows where Ret is, and I guess by a process of elimination on this tournament map, Ret knows where Naniwa is as well. We'll see what kind of builds these guys want to go for. Chrono boosting out workers, that's nothing unusual. This gateway's about halfway complete. Assimilator on the way. Spawning pool first, followed by extractor. And then we see that this probe here pacing back and forth is going to try to block the hatchery for as long as possible. Of course, Ret is going to want to get down that hatch as quick as he can. He is such a macro Zerg, like it's not unheard of for Ret to hit like some crazy 75, 85 drone count even within the first like 12, 15 minutes of the game. We're probably going to see something like that here today. Naniwa, on the other hand, he's got quite a plethora of builds at his disposal. He's got a very interesting style, and it's been very successful for him. Naniwa actually winning a recent MLG tournament, and he was also in the finals of TSL 3, I believe, up against Thorzane. He didn't win that, but yeah, he has won some other tournaments recently. He's a scary Protoss player, as he is putting down his second gas as well. Cybernetics Core going to just complete that wall off here. Sometimes you see Protoss players position their wall off a little bit differently. As you can see here, the gap in this wall off is right here. If you position it so that the gap is right here, it does make for earlier expanding. Well, no, sorry, not earlier expanding, but just when you maynard your probes down to your natural, it's a little bit more efficient if you leave an opening right here. So maybe that's pointing us in the direction of some kind of early aggression here from Naniwa, a less macro-oriented build. We'll just have to wait and see, as he does have a sentry on the way, and he does have Wharfgate research. We'll just have to keep an eye out, see where he wants to spend his next 2 chrono boosts. Not sure what he's going to want to do with that. The hatchery now has completed. Neither player losing their scouting workers or anything like that. And I don't even think that that Ret even scouted with a drone. He's got 2 Zerglings down right here, and then Overlord's positioned across the map. He's got control of this Selnaga tower as well. He's not going to want to push in to Naniwa's base anytime soon, though. It's too hard to micro on this small ramp against sentries as well. So Naniwa here saving up his minerals. He is going to put down a Nexus. Of course, very smart. Put a pylon on the low ground before putting your Nexus down there in case you need to, you know, reinforce or, you know, wall off right here, which could very well be what we're going to see with more gateways. Keep that production tab up for you guys. More sentries on the way out. So one Zealot 3 sentry opening here as Naniwa waiting for his warp gate research to complete. Puts a gateway down, but as you can see there is a small gap right here. Whoa, third base on the way for Ret. Exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of this video here. And a Sacrificial Overlord as well is going to spot both gases. Ooh, that would be big if he spots the Stargate. Let's see if he does. I think he's going to. These sentries have such low DPS. 6 damage with those like flashlights. And he sees it. He sees it. Ret sees the Stargate. That's a pretty big deal. 3 Warp Gate, Stargate. With a couple of Speedlings trying to get in. Oh, this one barely escaping with his life. He had 1 hit point a moment ago. Unbelievable. This hatchery now nearly complete. Ret feeling very safe to expand multiple times. He's doing a pretty good job spreading his creep as well. No lair tech just yet. And that makes sense. I mean, Ret is very well aware of his fast expanding opponent. There's not going to be any rush to detection or anything like that. I'm sure he's feeling very confident after seeing the Stargate. There is a Void Ray on the way. Often in PvZ, you do see one Void Ray followed up by, well, any number of Phoenix. Could just be 2 or 3 for backup, or you could just really start boosting out the Phoeni, you know, really gain control of the map. This Queen just waltzing very slowly over to the third base. Keeping an eye on the production tab. We see that Ret is doing a pretty good job of droning. Let's take a look at the units tab. 44 drones to 36 SCVs. Come on. 44 drones to 36 probes. Back on the production tab, we do see an Evo chamber on the way. I'm wondering if that is a little bit, you know, a little bit delayed. We do have, well, this Void Ray is only just arriving now, and this Evo chamber is going to be done any second. There's just one Queen over here, though. One-on-one Queen versus Void Ray. You don't want, like, that's not very cost efficient for the Zerg. Here we go. Forcing a cancel on one assimilator. Just sees that the chrono boosts are continuing to being used. Wow. It's an English verbally fail. We see that the chrono boost, well, Ret sees that the chrono boost, you know, still being used on the Nexus. Spore crawlers popping up everywhere. 2 at the third. None at the natural. 1 going down in the main base. Roachhorn on the way as well. This Phoenix here. 1 Phoenix. Oh, okay, 2 Void Rays. This Void Ray has 1 kill. And the second Void Ray, no kills. So this is a little bit different than what I expected. 2 Void Rays and a Phoenix. We'll see how this kind of attack here, how it's going to do. There is a Hydralisk Den on the way as well. Got to be careful. Want to stay out of range of that Spore Crawler. It might almost be worth it to Ret to reburrow that Spore Crawler. Of course, Spores reburrow very quickly now. One of the Queens does get taken out, and so far the only damage that's been done to the Protoss player, Naniwa, just a little bit damage to this Void Ray. Now it's down to about half health. You got to be careful. You don't want to take any damage you don't have to. These Speedlings just idling out here still. One of the Extractors gets taken out. So these Void Rays actually doing quite a bit of damage. As long as Naniwa keeps this Void Ray alive, he's got to be very careful. We do have an engagement here at the same time. Oh man, this many Zealots though against Zerglings with some sentry support, not going to be favorable for Ret at all. So Ret in a pretty bad position here. Look how hard Ret is droning up. 76 drones to 52 probes now. And he's going to be losing out on a lot of gas as these Extractors just keep going down. A ton of upgrades as well. We got Hydra range, Overlord drops, Overlord speed, as well as Zerg missile attack. These Extractors are, I'm sure it's so annoying for Ret to deal with. Lucky for Ret, he does have 3 bases up, so he's not going to be too short on gas. But this is still a pretty big problem. But now that there are Hydras out, this is going to get pushed back. These Phoenix and Void Ray combo are not going to remain cost efficient versus the Hydras. I guess, yeah, unfortunately for Naniwa, one of the Void Rays did get taken out. That one that was taking some damage a few minutes ago. And now Naniwa's shaping up to take a 3rd base as well. Still very even though. Zerg player still has the supply lead by about 10 supply. He wants to get his charge up on the Extractor. Now this Void Ray is charged up. Oh man, that is so annoying for Ret to deal with. He just can't seem to get these Spores in a good position. This Overlord doing lots of scouting as well. He's going to see the 3rd base. These Zerg upgrades still coming out. Still, he's actually added on some Roach upgrades as well. Roach speed, as his other upgrades are finishing. So I'm expecting that Ret is going to try to line up some kind of... Well, you know what? I take that back. He's not going to go for a timing attack. He's putting down a 4th base. And these Speedlings just poking up here at Naniwa's 3rd. Overlord poop and creep as well. His days are going to be numbered here. Oh man, that's just about the luckiest Overlord in the world, not getting spotted by that Protoss Air Force. Now let's just keep an eye on the Protoss base. He is getting Colossus, the robotics bay. So we're going to see Colossi in a minute, I'm sure. Twilight Council now nearly complete, just over halfway actually, and +1 armor on the way for Naniwa. He does have +1 attack complete already. The Zerg player on the other hand has no Carapace, but he does have +1 missile, and he's getting +1 melee, +1 Carapace as well. Spire on the way. These guys just taking lots of different tech paths. Naniwa reclaiming just a little bit of map control here, taking out the Zerglings, or the Zergling who occupied the Zelnaga tower there. And how is the economy doing for Naniwa? I'm actually curious about that. He does have 69 workers compared to 82. So what did I say earlier? 12 to 15 minute mark, 80 drones. It's exactly what we're seeing here from Ret. And I'm wondering what exactly Ret wants to do for his unit composition. Oh, miss micro. That's a very expensive air force loss. And what a deadly drop here. All the drones forced down to the natural multi-prong drop. Ret, unbelievable tactics here. Although the Zerglings here in the main aren't going to remain very cost efficient. Oh, he didn't actually drop all of his lings either. There's one Overlord there that's still got 6 lings in it. He's dropping them now, though. This third base gets taken out, and yeah, all of a sudden, Ret's actually in a really good position here. Such a sneaky tactic, and you have to actually take note of everything that lined up there. As soon as Ret finished +1 melee, +1 carapace, and he had already had +1 missile done for a little while. You know, that timing lined up with the Overlord speed and drop, and he was able to oh man, do so much damage. He took out 2 Nexus, and all of a sudden, Naniwa's just in a brutal position. So what are Naniwa's choices? Well, he knows he's just dramatically behind on the income tab, and as a result, you know, he's trying to line up this timing attack here. Both players spending a lot on their army. We'll see how this timing here lines up. Oh, nice fungal growth. Getting some of the stalkers as well. Blink complete as well, and more fungal growths, just doing, you know, stalling the Protoss army a little bit, dealing damage, of course, as well. Oh man, getting poked from all sides. I love this defensive positioning here from Ret. He's got so many spines up, and he's got spines on the high ground. He's got a ton of Hydras. He's got Corruptors. He's still got 1 Infestor left, and you know what? Naniwa might get sent packing. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to break this maxed out Zerg here. He's got to do some damage. He's got to at least like take out this hatchery or something. Some drones, not very many drones actually, but they're mining peacefully down there for the time being. And yeah, it looks like after just a little bit of pressure, Naniwa is heading home. Absolutely nothing on the Protoss production tab. Naniwa falling further and further behind as there is a greater Spire on the way. We are going to see some Broodlords. Duh. There are already plenty of Corruptors out on the map as well. I'm sure Ret's gonna have try to line up lots of resources, and he's gonna have to clear up some supply room as well. This is a big engagement here. It's a very nice concave for the Zerg, but these force fields doing some nice zoning as well as Naniwa blinks forward, but you know, Naniwa is a big commitment here. Oh, I love this counterattack. It's just ingenious. But Naniwa able to warp in some Zealots to deal with these pesky Zerglings. At the same time, Naniwa is going to be pushing in now to the second base of Ret. And looks like this could be it. This is going to be a big engagement here. These Roaches now 1-1 against the 1-1 Stalkers here with just a few sentries sprinkled in. No more Colossi or anything of the sort. And, I mean, it's just a matter of time until this Protoss army really gets crushed. You can only blink micro for so long, and hats off to Naniwa for this stellar micro. Any units with shields left remain in the front lines, and damaged Stalkers get blinked to the back, but, you know, against an endlessly, you know, rallying in Zerg army here, Ret has just such better macro at this point in his economy. And now that there are 5 Broodlords done, man, it's going to be really difficult for Naniwa to claw his way back into this one. Seems like Ret is going to go for some kind of attack very shortly, I would imagine. I mean, if Ret wants to play it safe, he could pick up a 5th and 6th base and basically just call it a day, prevent the Protoss from expanding anymore, but it looks like he's just going to attack and attempt to end it right here. He's got a lot of speedlings here at the gold base. These Broodlords are going to be just ever so helpful. Another Broodlord coming in as well as Infestors. The only thing I would fault Liquid.Ret for at this point is a lack of creep spread. I mean, creep spread is huge. It's so important in so many different ways. But yeah, Ret not doing that very well. He'd be able to reinforce faster, and just, you know, mobility is improved so much with creep all over the map. Oh well, doubt it's going to make much of a difference, as Ret is picking up a 5th base at this point. It looks like he's going to stage what could be the final assault here. Let's actually get rid of some of these tabs. Take a look at this final battle. Here we go. These Broodlords just raining chaos from above. Lots of roaches, infested Terran, eggs spawning, speedlings as well. The blinking stalkers try to get in a position to focus down the Broodlords, but it's just not enough. It really came down in this game to that one just sick 2-pronged attack where Ret did a nice doom drop in the main base of Naniwa. In large part, Zerglings, I think there might have been some roaches in that mix as well. And he also hit this 3rd base, and, you know, being able to take out both Nexus, that was basically GG. Well, you know what, that's not entirely true. It wasn't really GG, but it forced Naniwa into a position where he had to counterattack. If he didn't attack, or if he didn't go all in, he was going to lose anyway. So he tried to counter originally in this area here with those Colossi Stalkers and, you know, other gateway units. But it was just such good defensive positioning from Ret with the spines on the low ground. You know, plenty of reinforcements rallying in, spines on the high ground, and Naniwa just couldn't break it. So the Macro King Ret takes out, you know, MLG champion Naniwa in game 1 here. So I'm going to actually cast game 2. I thought this was an interesting game, so stay tuned for that one. It's going to be, you know, it's probably uploaded already. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Once again, this is Hunter Starcraft. If you enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe. Click that button right above the video. And until next time, peace out.